Hey guys, what's going on? Nitro Freak here, back with a truthful video. I have a lot of things to get off my chest, in particular for this video tonight. I've been having a lot of fun with this whole Sixers pregame show and like going back and forth with people on Twitter. It's been fun, but you know what? It's time I say my truthful opinions about the Sixers and the organization. This is coming from a guy that worshipped Allen Iverson growing up. Like, I loved the shit out of Allen Iverson ever since he were here from 1996 to 2006 when he got traded to Denver in December. I loved him. And the first series I actually watched was him in the finals when he beat the LA Lakers single-handedly in game one. That was the first ever game I watched because I was only 9 years old, and I was following a basketball team. Obviously, I'm going to follow Philly because they're close, and, the thing about me is I'm not a loser. Like, I don't like to lose. I don't handle losing well at all. Like, it pains me. Like, it makes me want to talk to a shrink, And being a Philadelphia fan, unfortunately, you have to cope with a lot. It sucks. But going back to the AI thing, he performed on the court night in and night out, and he wanted to win no matter what shitty product was around him, no matter what they didn't give him night in and night out. The front office and Billy King, whatever they didn't give him, he still performed. And that's why the guy's a legend. The guy is an all-time great. The guy is a first ballot Hall of Famer. And I'm pretty sure Embiid will be one as well one day down the road. But where I'm turned off from is, all these fans that are okay with a loser product just to get good pieces and not even hidden on the good pieces. Who did we get? We got Joel Embiid, and we got Ben Simmons, who still isn't a finished product, or he might be one. Out of what? 5 consecutive really bad draft picks, like top 5 draft picks. We picked 3 centers: Nerlens Noel, Joel Embiid, who was hurt, who could have won number 1 if he wasn't hurt, and Jahlil Okafor from Duke, who was an absolute bust. They couldn't even hit on the draft picks. We lost on purpose for literally no reason. Then we started to win with Brett Brown. Brett Brown is one of the biggest reasons why this franchise has been a major turnoff to me. And it's not because he wasn't a good coach. It's because of how the Sixers treated him. Imagine your dream of being in the NBA. Imagine your dream of winning a championship, wanting to be like Phil Jackson, Pat Riley, these big name coaches. And they ask you to lose on purpose. Or not ask you to lose on purpose, but they give you the product that if you're matching them up with the other team, it could be the worst team in the league and you're matching them up with them, you're going to get your ass kicked. You know what they're doing. They're tanking on purpose. The fucking parking price was more than the tickets during the process era. His record is so bad that you would look at him if he ever got into the Hall of Fame, if he won championships, you'd be like, how the fuck is this guy a Hall of Fame coach? Because he put up with losing. And the way they just fired the guy, the way the fan base got on the guy last year, it was a major, major, major turnoff for me. And I know they're going against the Atlanta Hawks. They're probably going to beat the Atlanta Hawks, But do I really care? No. I don't, because that's not how I was raised. That's not how I was born. That's not how I was raised. That's not how I was brought up. I was born up to try to win at all costs, to try to compete at all costs, And I'm sorry if I'm not in the mode of these other Sixers fans that just came out of nowhere and they're like, oh, we can win the championship. Who's going to stop Embiid? Well, let me tell you something. We wouldn't have Embiid right now if we didn't lose on purpose, If Andrew Bynum played a game for us, we could possibly have done it the right way. Andrew Bynum was the biggest piece. He was our Joel Embiid back in 2012. He never came to fruition because he was too busy dancing in Brazil. He didn't want to play. If he would have played and we would have started winning games, players would have wanted to come here. But instead they gutted the team. They lost on purpose, and they lost the passion of some true diehard fans. Me. And I don't care who says, oh, you were never a real fan anyway. It doesn't matter because I know who I am. I know who I am. I know what I like, And the way they did the process, to me, the whole time, it was just really shady, but I put up with it. But when they started to lose to teams like the Boston Celtics in the second round, teams that didn't even compare to them, it was just a huge turnoff. It was a major turnoff. Then they used Brett Brown as a scapegoat. They used him as a scapegoat when he wasn't the problem at all. It's such a shady fucking franchise. Like, it really is. Now, I'm going to do my pre- and post-game shows because I'm not a quitter. But if they won the championship, like, if I'm comparing it to seeing the Flyers win the Stanley Cup to the Sixers winning the NBA title, I wouldn't care as much. Like, if even at all, I'd be like, yeah, great. I truly wouldn't care. And I know I've been like going at it with like Sixers content creators because honestly, you had RB, Philly Take with RB, like for literally no reason say, oh, go root for another team. Because I was like, oh, I thought you didn't like the bubble team because he goes back and forth with all this shit. He's like, oh, go root for another team. So I pretty much told him to go fuck himself. But I felt like I should have made a video to really tell you guys how I feel about this franchise. And they are my least favorite team. Like, and it's not even close. My favorite teams are the Eagles, the Flyers, the New York Yankees, Juventus soccer in Italy, then the Sixers. They're literally my least favorite team. And people act like this team is their life, their bread and butter. It's just weird. It's weird to me because people, I guess, don't like to compete. I've lost my passion for this team when they started to lose on purpose. And I really lost my passion for this team when Brett Brown was fired because they ruined his legacy. They ruined his record. It's just a big turnoff to me. It just is. And, I said I'd go to games in the future rounds or whatever, and I probably will because I have nothing better to do. I took off work for a long period of time. But I don't have that passion. I just don't. I have more passion with fighting with people on Twitter. That's my passion. I really do because where were these fans back in the process years? They weren't there. I mean, they weren't there during the AI years. Like they came about because they like being on a train because they think we're gonna win a title. And then let me tell you something. As an intelligent sports fan, this team ain't winning a title. If you think they are, you might as well just turn off the TV right now. They ain't beating the Bucks. They ain't beating the Nets. And honestly, without JoJo, I don't know if they could even beat the Atlanta Hawks. I think they will, but it's possible that they don't. So that's all I had to say. I had to rant a little bit. This video went a little bit long, but it's been a long time since I've really done a rant like this. But I just felt like I needed to show and talk to you guys like a shrink and tell you my thoughts and opinions on this franchise and why I really act the way I do when it comes to like people on Twitter and stuff like that. It's really nothing personal at the end of the day. It's just, I don't like when people act like this team was there for them when they really weren't the entire time. There's no fucking reason why, we should be saying like, oh, like fuck people who hate the Sixers and stuff like that. Like, we're not that type of that franchise. Like, where were these guys talking back to the franchise when we were losing on purpose? Like, where were these same guys? It's disgusting. It's repulsive. And it's like, if the Eagles ever did that, I would fucking find out where Jeffrey Lurie lived and take a shit on his lawn. All right? That's how much I love the Philadelphia Eagles. They will never fucking touch that team. They will never make that team lose on purpose. As much as I do not like Jalen Hurts being the starting quarterback, if they ever, and I mean ever, did that to the Philadelphia Eagles, I would have a major problem with that. And no one even gave a fuck. No one cared. That just goes to show you how much this fan base really cares about this team. They don't. Once they suck, they go away. That's it. That's all I got. Have a good night. Bye. I might be back on Sunday. I'm not feeling it. I'm just not feeling it. It just finally clicked. I don't know. Maybe I'll be back for the people that watch, but other than that, I don't really care.